Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another stream here. It is RB Salzburg versus Al Hilal. I'm just going to put the stream on here. There we go. And we are ready already for this one. And I expect Al Hilal to win this match. Of course, they are the stronger team on paper and in gameplay. But we will see. Salzburg could prove the biggest upset, really, of this group. And, get through to the round of 16 with this win. Because I think if they win this, they go through to the round of 16 with 6 points. But yes, so Al Hilal do need this win, just like Real Madrid needed before, to get the 4 points, go into second place minimum, I think. Yeah, and definitely, have a chance of getting through to round of 16 for the Madrid game. Who else do you think stood out alongside Courtois? I think DinoDoomz, a bit underrated there. He was actually very good. I actually had a stat page from Fabrizio on his stats in that game. Let me just get this up. Fabrizio. Here it was. I think it was one of these. Live, here we go. Well, the match is just about to start, actually. I'll read it out once I start this timer. There we go. So Hilal taking kickoff. But here is the stat for DinoDoomz. It was 95 minutes, 97 touches, 7 clearances, 1 interception, 3 tackles, 93% passing accuracy, and 7 duels won. So he was very standout. Jude was very good in that game. So I'd say Courtois, Jude, and Hoyinson were very good. And Ardagula, of course, proving his worth once again for Real Madrid. Very underrated. And I think Xavi's going to use him a lot in this new era for Real. And this is going to be Hilal's lineup right here. So Al Hilal lining up with a very similar one to last time. There's actually an injury, so it's enough time to read this without commentating. Bunu and goalkeeper. Right back is João Cancelo, Altambakti right centre-back, Koulibaly in the left centre-back, and Renan Lodi in left back. Of course, Hilal are actually looking at Theo Hernandez to join their team, and Victor Osimhen, their 2 signings that they're trying to get. Ruben Neves in CDM, Milinkovic-Savic in RAM, and Nasser Al-Dosri in LAM. Left wing is Salam, striker Leonardo, and right wing Malcolm. This game will be close, but Hilal will take this, yeah. Hilal, I do think, will take this win. It really depends on if Inzaghi's tactics will work for this game. Because, of course, Hilal haven't had much time with him. They haven't had much time to adapt. The last game, they kind of played his tactic with the right wing backs and the left wing back there with Cancel and Lodi. But they were still mainly playing Jorge Jesus' tactics from the previous season, which were, just full-on attack, especially through the likes of Salam Al-Dosri, their star player here. And this is the lineup for RB Salzburg. So Zoe Shitsky, I think that's how you say his name. Sorry if I didn't say it correctly, is goalkeeper. Kratzig is left back. Rasmussen and Gadou as the 2 centre-backs. Lehner is the right back. Left mid is Gluck, who scored the goal for Salzburg, the opening goal. Diabate as the LDM. Bidstrup as the RDM. And Dorgeles as the right mid. Uni Siwo as the striker and Beidou as the other striker. So there's 2 strikers for Salzburg. I'm struggling with the competition. It's just all too predictable who's going to win each game. Yeah, some games are very predictable. But some games I've noticed, for example, like the Sundowns game. I mean, Dortmund ended up winning. But still, some of these games have been very, fluctuant. And here was actually a chance early on for Hilal just through Cancelo. He just misses a very clear chance there. But yeah, at the moment, I'm feeling pretty confident that Hilal can get this one just through, these wingers especially, and these wing backs. They're so deadly. Cancelo, one of the more deadly right backs in the world. However, I do think he should be, left out of the Portuguese squad just because of, how he sort of, I feel like he breaks that connection that we're seeing lately with the Portuguese squad where they're very, tight-knit, very appreciative of one another. I feel like when he was in there, he really did not bring that nice vibe that we're seeing now with Roberto Martinez. Could have just been the previous coach, but I do feel like he does that with this Portuguese squad. Hi, Zo3ella. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. But here is a chance for Salzburg, actually, and it's nice and tidied up by Yassine Bunu, who just rushes out there. And this is now a chance for Al Hilal through Leonardo, and it's just tidied up there by Salzburg. Max 3 goals in this game. That's what I'm thinking. I actually did agree with Kieran with the prediction of, what was that prediction again? Yeah, 2-0 Hilal. But yeah, of course, maximum 3 goals. We could see Salzburg maybe get a goal to make it 2-1. But yeah, for me, 2-0 is going to be the prediction. If Hilal do win 2-0, they will be going into second with a +2 goal difference, tied with Real. But Hilal need a +3 goal difference minimum to go into first place. Otherwise, yeah, they will be behind Real if they do get a win. Salzburg will win this one. Your 2-1 prediction, yeah, definitely could be. Salam Al-Dosri just taking a shot from outside the box, and that is not that great from him. He is definitely Al Hilal's star player. He is the best Saudi player of all time, and I do think that he will be showing up here on this left side like he was with Renan Lodi against Real Madrid. Leonardo was a bit, disappointing in that Real Madrid game for Al Hilal. He was not that great. Malcolm and Milinkovic-Savic were really good, and Ruben Neves was very good too. I feel like Neves, ever since the Nations League, has been, putting on star performances every game. Before in the league, Neves wasn't that great for Hilal in the remaining games in the league, like the last 5 or so. But yeah, he's stepped up since the Nations League, really, which, has been good to see. Love to see that. And this is going to be Salzburg just with the ball at the back here. It's going to be Rasmussen. Just passing it over to the side there. Godot. Back to Rasmussen. And W subscriber as well. The Real My Lab. Thank you so much for subscribing. I highly appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. If Hilal score, then Salzburg will score one back quickly. Maybe they push for a win. Yeah, definitely. Salzburg did actually look dangerous against Pachuca. Surprisingly, I wasn't really putting Salzburg up here as a group contender for, one of the top positions. But yeah, they've definitely been surprisingly good. Hilal's team is very, almost tiki-taka based football we're seeing from them. We saw against Real Madrid. And Hilal are implementing Inzaghi's tactics on those side wingings positions, as I did say. Yeah, good example of European football against Saudi football. Yeah, I wish, though, that Al Ittihad was in this tournament because they did win the league, got a stronger squad than Al Hilal this season. Al Hilal were, by their standards, disappointing because they did have an undefeated season last time around with, full-on no losses. I wouldn't recommend... I have put a disclaimer, guys, and I have to do this now because do not take my advice on the betting stuff 100% seriously, okay? I have to put this disclaimer for, legal reasons. But yeah, Hilal definitely a stronger side. I will say that, Grigori. Hopefully, that can help you out a little bit. But, again, these matches have been really unpredictable. And, again, do not take my advice. It's an assumption from myself, not actual, proper advice there. The disclaimer is in the description, of course, as well. Sorry, guys, I really do have to do that, though. Otherwise, I can get in big trouble. Now, this is on the left side here for Kratzig. Just kicking it out onto a Hilal player. I think it deflects off Malcolm out. Yeah, but just based on squads, technically Al Hilal better squad, better manager. The manager hasn't had much time with them. He's only had the first game before that, Real Madrid. He only had 3 days with them. But then after that, he had, a week to really prepare with them. But now this is Renan Lodi. Yeah, prediction isn't... Yeah, it's not... I just have to do it. I just being safe, okay, guys? I'm sure you can understand. But yeah, prediction for me really is Hilal winning this one. Just want to cover all my bases. No need for disclaimer. Well, I'll still just keep it on there in case. But, I was advised to put it on there. Not... I wasn't originally, but I was advised. Now, this is going to be Rasmussen just passing it forward, and this is now Bidstrup, who just gets it over to that left side. It's now going to be Kratzig again, passing it to Diabate, and it goes all the way back to this left side with Kratzig. Yeah, exactly. Basic voice. Exactly what you said there. If you don't know who to bet, then don't really. Of course, I don't bet because in Saudi you don't bet on football and sports, which I think perfectly fine for me, to be honest. I know some people like to do that, but I don't really care. And there's a chance of Salzburg on the line clearance by Bunu. That is insane from Yassine Bunu. And this is what I'm saying. Yassine Bunu is definitely such a good goalkeeper. Yes, betting is haram. That's why it's not here. But What an insane save by Yassine Bounou. And I feel like we're going to have the same situation where we did with Real Madrid with Courtois. Bounou is so good. Oh, yes, I get it. I get it. I don't know how it works, okay? I don't know how it works, but yeah, I get it. Hilal's stronger squad. That's why I will say. And here we go. A corner for Salzburg. That was an amazing chance by Salzburg, and that's just cleared away there by, I think, Tambakti. It's going to be now Salzburg on the side here. Dorgeles. Dorgeles tries to get through Salem, and he's just prevented. Now it's Lodi. Gets the ball stolen off him there. That was not great from Lodi. I can see why they're trying to get, of course, Tio Hernandez as the left back, because Lodi is a very good substitute. I don't think he's a great starter player because he, sometimes messes up, especially early game. He was great in the attack last game, though, for Al Hilal against Real Madrid. He did score an offside goal set up by Salam Al-Dosri, but, yeah. It seems to be a bit of an injury here, actually, for Renan Lodi. And it's going to be a drop ball for Salzburg. Now this is going to be Rasmussen. And receiving a pass here, just trying to find his teammate there. It's actually taken away by Hilal there. Brilliant tackle by Milinkovic-Savic. And it's going to go straight back to the goalkeeper there, Zawi. I will call the goalkeeper Zawi just because he is, his name's very hard to pronounce. So I'll just call him that. And let me as well just quickly go like this, just so we can actually have some... you probably won't bet on this one. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys. I won't really, and, be too thing. I don't care. Salzburg will win in your opinion. European football is on a different level, and Salzburg didn't come back in the first game to lose with Saudi team. Especially if Real is next, they have to win. Yes, of course they have to win, but, I will say, watching the Saudi Pro League for 4 years... Hilal is definitely probably on a European level in terms of quality. Just squad depth is missing. I will say squad depth is definitely missing from their team. Yeah, that's what you thought as well. Salzburg definitely have a chance. Yeah, but I have been watching SPL for 3 years, and Hilal are so dominant in it. No, it was lag for a second there. Sorry, guys. Is it better now? I'll just check it out. Okay, yeah, it's good. I was just checking it out there, sorry. There was an internet disconnection for my thing because probably a sandstorm outside. This is now Salam Al-Dosri with the ball. And it is going to be an Al Hilal throw-in. He just wins that nicely. Yeah, you play out the opponent lets you exactly. So if Hilal put up lots of pressure, Salzburg's going to be playing very defensively. I think counter-attack might be a best situation. But, I feel like that's more how... yeah, I think that's actually kind of how Salzburg will play here. I think Hilal's going to play very possessional because they are playing with Inzaghi as the coach. And, we can see still these one-touch passes between their players. And this is going to be now with the ball, Malcolm. Just a cross coming in there, and it's just headed away by Salzburg. I know, that was huge. Especially, I was surprised how much attacking chance Pachuca had on that game. I really didn't expect Pachuca to have that much, but yeah. You bet on red after red card with 2.1. Oh, wow. I'm not too sure how the betting stuff works, so I can't really, react to it as much, but I'm sure that's, a bit unlucky, I guess. And this is now going to be Salzburg on the right side here, just finding a pass through there to Beidou. And it's going to be a throw-in for Al Hilal, just one off of Onisiwo. 2.1 is the multiplier. Okay, I see. So 2.1 multiplier and a chance of a red card. Wow. And this is going to be Al Dosri. If Real wins, you get double the money. It's actually... oh, okay, I see. I think all that tournament is for European players to see how it is in US before World Cup. Yeah, definitely. I do think this is like, a tester for the quality, especially since World Cup's at the same time. Here's Salam Al-Dosri here, who will be, a star player for Saudi Arabia in the World Cup, along with Saud Abdulhamid and, of course, Nawaf Al-Akidi as well. 3 stars for Saudi. Am I from England? No, I'm from Australia originally. Then I lived in New Zealand. I got some New Zealand roots. And then I've been living now in Saudi for 8.5 years. And yes, that's a bad foul actually on Al-Doshri there. Not great from the Salzburg defense. I think there was Lena there just doing a little bit, you know, of a rough slide tackle. And this is going to be White South. Originally, it's for my father's work, but, you know, now I've really enjoyed it here, living here for this long. Ronaldo's here. It's for Al Nassr. So, yeah, I get to watch all of his games. Unfortunately, I live 5 hours away from Al Nassr Stadium. But, yeah, I get to go. Next season, I'm going to be in the Riyadh for university just for an Arabic course. And I am going to get to watch all of Al Nassr's home games next season. So that'll be very good. But yeah, it's been developing here. By 2030, it's going to be the World Expo, and then 2034, of course, the World Cup. So, yeah, I would definitely love to go visit both of those events. Yeah. At first, it's like, when you first come here, it's a bit different, and then you get used to it. And now, yeah, I've been living it this long. It's not really much noticeable difference for me, to be honest, anymore. Got a lot of friends here as well, so connections. Cancelo gives a throw in there, and that's going to be Milinkovic-Savic receiving, and this is going to go straight back to Tombakti. And Tombakti to Kalidou Koulibaly. Yes, I'm not in Dammam, I'm in Al Khobar. But yeah, basically close to each other. Khobar, Dammam, Dhahran, tri-state area, tri-city area. I actually went to see this, the blonde highlights of my hair. I went to Bahrain to get those because, unfortunately, my local barber doesn't do them. So, yeah, the closest one to do, the blonde was in Bahrain. So, just went over the causeway to get them. But, yeah, W haircut, honestly, I really enjoyed it. This is going to be a throw-in here for Al Hilal. Yes. And it's just thrown back to Ruben Neves. Also, welcome everyone who I didn't welcome to stream. Welcome all of you guys. Do I hear it from my bedroom? Well, no, not here, but at my old house I did. Not where I currently live. It's not that loud, to be honest. It's like actually pretty silent, unless you live right next to the mosque, of course. And this is going to be won back by RB Salzburg. To have that ball, which they're playing, looks good. Yeah, I know the ball for this Club World Cup is very, nice and fluent looking. I actually got the Premier League ball from last season, and it's, actually very good. It has a lot of dip on it. It's almost like you can do a ton of knuckleballs with it. So, yeah, definitely fun practice ball. Previous season's Premier League one. Hi, Nerosion. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is doing well, having a nice day. Leonardo, not with the best tackle there, but he does win a throw-in for Al Hilal. It looks to be Renan Lodi throwing this one in the box. Hopefully Al Nassr can secure their squad, of course, with Miguel Conceição as a new coach coming in, possibly. They're building a great stadium, Al Khobar. Yes, Qadsiya's stadium, the Aramco Stadium. It's going to be one of the World Cup stadiums. I'm so close to it. I'm very close to Qadsiya's stadium. But yeah, it's going to be exciting when the World Cup stadiums start coming in, because it's going to be majority indoor, so it's not going to be like Qatar. I think most of Qatar's stadiums were, had to be played at night because it was still hot, but this one's fully air-conditioned, mostly indoor. I think it's got a closing roof as well. Hi, Stephen James from Scotland. Hope you're having a nice day, or it should be maybe an evening for you by now. Do you think a non-European team will win the Club World Cup? Now? I'm still got my bets on Real or Bayern. Just Real because I am a Real Madrid supporter. But Bayern is looking the strongest team in this tournament by quite a bit. They are so dominant. They just need to learn how to finish a little bit, because that last game against Boca was a bit disappointing with the finishes, Oh, it's just before midnight. Okay, I see. Yeah, for me, it's 2 a.m. almost in the morning. The next match after this one, City versus Al Ain, will be at 4 a.m. Also, I have no idea. Al Ain should not be in this tournament, guys. They are not great. From UAE, they're just not it. Rahimi is very good. He's their only good player. But, yeah, now, of course, sorry, forgot to mention Rui Patricio, but he did concede 5 on his debut for them. But, yeah, shouldn't have been them. Should have been Etihad getting the other Middle East spot. I don't know what that was for the decision-making. Byron will win the Club World Cup. Elise is the best player in the tournament. Yes, Elise definitely looks to be the best player of this tournament. I can't believe how good that guy is. He's genuinely insane. He is so good, Miguel Elise. We haven't seen Kylian yet, so we'll have to wait to see for him. But Mbappe always putting up a performance. There's a save by Yassine Bounou just to prevent Bidstrup from getting a goal there. A lot of Salzburg fans here, actually, surprisingly. There weren't many in the first game, but yeah, they're here. They're in some numbers. Renan Lodi on this left side now for Al Hilal. Just back to Kalidou Koulibaly. Rumours, of course, of Tio Hernandez joining Al Hilal alongside Victor Osimhen. Ederson is also in the bid for Al Hilal to strengthen up their squad. Again, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for Ronaldo because currently our management is completely just filled with Al Hilal board members, which is annoying. If you didn't know, Al Nassr's management is so bad. They've got literally the rival club's supporters as our board members. They fired our CEO, which was a former Nasser player, which is even worse as well. Fired him when he woke up in the morning, received a message saying that he was fired. And you're going to go with Botafogo? Yeah, Botafogo, very strong team Monday. Yeah, definitely are going to be one of quality going into the... I expect them to go to the semis. But I do think they'll have to verse Bayern. If, you know, they do lose against Atleti. I don't think they'll lose against Atleti. I'm not too sure. They have to verse Bayern somewhere in that game. In the games, though. What's my pick for this game? Al Hilal 2 and Salzburg. Maybe actually I'm thinking 1 because they're looking pretty good. So yeah, Al Hilal 2, Salzburg 1. Hilal need this win though if they want to be in the round of 16. Yeah, I don't think a draw will happen. I definitely don't think so. Both the teams look very attacking. Hilal's goalkeeper, Yassine Bounou, will definitely have a ton of good saves. There's a very good cross by Ruben Neves. Just doesn't go into the box there. Here's another one by him, and this is going to be Salem El Dosri, cross coming in, and that is close to a goal. There is just off the line clearance there by, who was that? I think it was Zowie who got the off the line clearance. Could have been Rasmussen actually, but that was amazing save from one of them to prevent Hilal from being in of this with a goal. This is going to be Koulibaly now on the right back position here. See, very, you know, very sort of tiki-taka, you know, overlapping plays here from Al Hilal, definitely. Yeah, Mitrovic is being missed, definitely. Leonardo was amazing for Hilal in the second half of the season, but yeah, Mitrovic with an injury just before their games, definitely, you know, missing that heading presence in the box. Of course, we have, Milinkovic-Savic, who's very good on the header as well. He scored quite a few this season, but yeah, just not like Mitrovic. He is, yeah, definitely something else for Al Hilal, especially, you know. And yeah, definitely, I think that's a big loss as well. Caio Cesar, who is a new Hilal signing. I think they signed him in the half season in January. But yeah, I haven't really seen much of him because he was more of a substitute. But he is definitely a young Brazilian talent. He was developing. I can't remember where he's from, what club he was from before. Caio, let's just click on him to see where he is from there. He was before in Vitória de Guimarães. In January to 2024 to January 2025. So yeah, Hilal must have spotted something there, signing him as a young talent. This is going to be a free kick for Al Hilal. Cross coming in, and just going wide. That was not great. I don't know, I think that was Ruben Neves giving that free kick, but it wasn't that great there. That cross just missing out. This chance before by Salem, you know, crossing that in. It was clearly onside. That was very good. And now Al Hilal facing a proper... I mean, yeah, Real Madrid last game were not on it, definitely. Salzburg, you know, a proper defensive team. Even as a Real Madrid fan, I have to admit, though, they were not it in the previous game. They were just, you know, some of their chances missed. Some of the, you know, gameplay that we saw from Real was not it, especially Lucas coming on. I really feel like Trent is sort of weak in terms of fitness. He needs to get that fitness up because we need him full 90 minutes for some games. Not all of them, of course, but so far he hasn't played full 90 minutes yet. He's played 60 minutes, I think, and then he played like 80 minutes today. Al Hilal stepped up the pace in the last few minutes. Yes, definitely. Probably Inzaghi's telling them to get an early goal here because it will definitely be helpful in terms of, you know, breaking down the Salzburg defense. One thing you will see is Bounou coming out really far out of the box if there is a chance. He does that with Al Nassr quite a fair bit when we do verse Al Hilal in the Riyadh derbies. He comes out almost to the midfield sometimes to tackle the ball, which is insane for a goalkeeper. Only really Manu Neuer does that, at least what I've seen. When do you think any team is going to score? Till what minute? I think there'll be a goal in the first half, maybe around the 30th minute, because both teams are looking pretty deadly. But again, so unpredictable, these tournaments. Yeah, not a super team, but they good and basic. I think the super team for first of all, SPL, I feel like is Etihad again. This season at least, they had so many good players. Moussa Diaby was amazing. N'Golo Kante, exceptional. He is so good, N'Golo. And of course Benzema up forward. They also have Djokovic as the goalie, I think. They have Laurent Blanc as the coach, which is good. It's like Ratchtovic or something. It's going to be Renan Lodi taking the throw in. But yeah, Salzburg better, step up of tactics because they've got, a proper coach who's been in for quite a while, whereas Xabi Alonso really didn't have time to implement tactics into Real. Hence why, it was a bit dodgy that first game, Hilal versus Madrid. Both Hilal and Real Madrid had only their coach really for 3 days, I think, or 4 days. So yeah. What's my predicted score of this game? I've been saying 2-1, I think. I think Hilal win 2-1, but again, it's up to you guys, really, on what you perceive. Draw Salzburg, you're saying basic voice, yeah. Possible. We'll have to see, though, what happens here. Ruben Neves just a cross out to the right side there. And this is going to be Malcolm. Salzburg in the round of 16 would be a treat for Juventus or Man City, whoever finishes. I think they'll finish second, Salzburg, because I don't think they'll win against Real. Whoever finishes first in that group is going to get a treat there. It's good seeing teams being tested here, not easy, predictable matches. Yeah, I know. That's what I like about this Club World Cup. Some of these matches have been predictable, but some have not been as so. I had a lot of predictions, for example, on PSG beating Bota, but, they've really fumbled there playing the B team PSG for the first half. And then Botafogo, excellent defense from them. And, Igor Jesus on the attack is amazing. If Al Hilal wants to win, have to be 1-0 in goal at the last 20 minutes. Yeah. Definitely. They need to either go up to 2-0 or they need to, score and then maintain a very defensive outlook. This is going to be Salem Al-Dosri taking the corner. Looks like it might be a short corner. We'll have to see. And yes, it is a short corner. This is going to be now Ruben Neves passing over to Renan Lodi. Cross coming in from Renan Lodi. And it's just cleared away partially by Salzburg. Still in the box there. And here's a chance for Nasser Al-Dosri to pass it through. Little one-touch back from Salem. And it's now gone into this left side here for Renan Lodi. Again, he does a very heavy touch there, Lodi. That was not great from him. And Ruben Neves, cross coming in once again. Very knucklish cross there. And that is going to go over to the side here from Milinkovic-Savic, passing it through to Malcolm. João Cancelo. And now this is going to be Ruben Neves. Again, going to cross this one through. And it's trying to reach Koulibaly. I think that is the target for this. Cross again. There are so many crosses. Salem on the volley. That is so bad. Sorry, Salem. I do say good stuff about you, but that was horrendous. I'm sorry, man. One of the worst volleys we've seen. I think the worst one was probably in the Sundowns match, though. Unfortunately, Sundowns did do a bad volley there. I think it was the left central defender who did, I think, 2 really poor ones. But Salem's one might there have been the worst one, which is unfortunate. And this is going to be now on this right side here. Another shot there, attempt by Malcolm. This is going to be Milinkovic-Savic, who I think will be the one to watch for this game. Milinkovic-Savic, just so good for Al Hilal. Really the midfield maestro for their team. Nasser Al-Dosri, Tambakti, Ruben. And now to the side. It's going to be Milinkovic-Savic. Now back to Tambakti. Now Koulibaly. Koulibaly over to this left side. Salem. Sorry, it was Ruben. Sorry, that was Renan Lodi. My bad. Both Salem and Renan Lodi wearing the same colour boots there. Koulibaly. Koulibaly in the Real Madrid game. If you guys watch that game, he was excellent. You have to admit that, guys. He was so good on the defense. They're really clutching up a lot. Same with Bunu, clutching up a lot for the defense for Hilal. Volley's not easy stuff to looks good, be powerful and effective. Yeah, I know. Volley's definitely hard. That one was not looking great. Just headed away by Salzburg. Neves and Milinkovic-Savic are crucial for Al Hilal to sustain attacks. Yes, definitely. Neves, I felt like, was off it for the last couple of league games for Hilal, but yeah, he's stepped it up since the Nations League. He's really been, you know, like in that Madrid game, he has been so crucial for Hilal in terms of, you know, retaining possession on the defense. I'm surprised he actually took the pen in the game against Madrid because if you guys don't know, I'm sure not many of you guys would have been following SPL, that he actually missed 2 pen shootout goals in a final cup against Al Nassr and against another team. I think it was Qadsiya. Yeah, first goal coming in 2 minutes, possibly. Here we go, throw into the box by Lodi. Nope. He's going to throw it again. Attempt to throw it into the box. And just headed backwards by Savic. And it's a little mixture in the box here. Who's getting the ball? Malcolm does come out with it, and he just passes back to Cancelo. Cancelo cross coming into the far side. Just headed away by Salzburg again. Salzburg very defensive in this game so far. This is why I did predict that Salzburg would be playing very defensive and then, you know, prosper on the counter chances. And that is straight out. That is not great. I don't know who did that. That was Tombakti there. Not great from him. This is going to be a Salzburg throw-in. Oh, it's going to be a water break, actually. Water break for both teams. Inzaghi going to probably give in some tactics. And now we do know from the water breaks, there's always been, you know, some sort of goal happening after or some sort of drama. Like in the Real Madrid game, the first goal happened straight after the water break. And it might happen here again. Neves scored the winning goal in the penalty shootout in the Nations League final. Yes, that's why he is taking them, because he did do that. But yeah, I was surprised when they actually put Neves up in the Nations League final, first of all, for the final pen, because, you know, just based on that record, he hasn't been that great. And they weren't even saves. They were both misses. One hit the post and one straight over. But yeah, he's redeemed himself on penalties. I think he's just having bad days on those times. But yeah, definitely he's looking good on the pens now. Stop the clock for the water break. The clock continues, though, on the actual match. So, you know, I just add on the additional time afterwards. You know what I should do, though? I should get a text box. And when there's a water break, I should put an actual, like, thing over. Like here, I'll just do, you know, this random text, water. And then there's going to be a water break like that. And then we just put it over. There we go. I don't know where that was, though. It's at the top there. It's, like, very light. I don't know if you guys can see that. Here, let me put background opacity. There we go. It's like kind of small. Water break. There we go. Cool. Now we're professional. Definitely looking very professional with that setup there. Smash like for professionalism. And yep, this water break is still continuing. Actually, doesn't really look like the Hilal players are that hot. I mean, expected, of course, playing in the Saudi heat. Even right now, let's check the temperature. It is past midnight, so it should be kind of cool. 31 degrees Celsius, and the highest today was 44. The highest tomorrow is going to be 46. There is going to be a possible 50 degrees Celsius this week as well. So love to hear that. Love to hear that I'm going to get burnt as soon as I get outside. And yes, this is still the water break continuing. And let's wait when the referee is going to give this one a continued play. Still waiting on it. And it looks like it's going to happen now. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to play it now. Because Salzburg will be taking a throw-in. Throw just there. In close range. And it's tried to one back by Hilal. And they just kick it out again for another throw-in. Nasser Dosri does a decent tackle. Saw your card in the back. How's Sadio Mane done in the Saudi League? Definitely, Mane has been a very fluctuant player. So when he first came to Al Nassr at the start of last season, he was amazing. I mean, as I'll refer to last season as 2 seasons ago, technically now, because it is 2 seasons ago. But last season, 23-24. He was amazing when he first came. Then AFCON hit, and he turned so bad after AFCON I'm not joking, guys. Some people actually chanting in the crowd to sell him. I mean, that's crazy because he's got so much quality. We know that. I have my faith still in him. He is my second favorite player on the team. That's why I've got his card at the back there. But yeah, I still have my faith in him. And I, of course, now with the home games going this season coming up, I would love to meet him and, you know, get a signature. That would be cool. But then this most recent season, 24-25, he was again bad at the start of the season, very bad. And then he started to show up. He started to show up after the January. It's like something flicked in his mind, and he turned really good suddenly. He was like carrying games at some points. That's how good he was. His link up with Ronaldo is the best that I've seen, you know, in Al Nassr's team. He's got the best link up with Cristiano. And he's one of the main players, I feel like, on Al Nassr's team, especially when we had Stefano Pioli, who is not a great coach. He was really breaking team morale and connection like we had with Luis Castro. He made Laporte want to leave, because Laporte had an argument with him. He made, you know, some of our other players unhappy. He's made Duran turn absolutely trash. Yeah, but Mane always sticking by CR7's side, and I respect that. So props to Mane, you know. Such a wholesome guy as well. Would have loved to see more with him at Bayern, but yeah, unfortunately it ended there. Also due to that controversy, I think it was Sané and Mane having a little outbreak there. Neves getting a free kick on this left side for Al Hilal, and he's going to take this one, it looks like. And here we go. Ruben Neves crossing this in. It's just headed away, just too low for Hilal really to get any connection on that. And this is Cancelo just redeeming it. Milinkovic-Savic actually didn't really look happy at that free kick by Ruben Neves. It wasn't that great. Now, this is going to be Milinkovic-Savic now with the ball. Is my AC on 24/7? No, it's off right now, but it turns on, you know, every so often. I turn it on with this remote here. You'll see it on stream. But it's not that hot inside, mainly because my house AC is on for most of the time. But yeah, my personal room AC isn't really on that much. It's because my room is actually an extension on the house. It's like, we didn't get this as an extension. It was just added from the previous owner. So yeah, that's why the house's AC isn't actually connected up to my room. So that's why when the door is open, I get lots of AC flow in here, but then otherwise, yeah, it starts to get hot. And this is going to be Ruben Neves down on the ground injured. I think the referee's still playing on the game. He has stopped play though. Malcolm's questioning why he didn't stop play already, and there's a yellow card coming out actually. Yeah, I don't know why this wasn't stopped at the free kick, but okay. Referee retrospectively giving a yellow card out. And that is going to be there, a yellow card for, I couldn't really see who that was really. Yeah, it was Diabate there, just getting the yellow. So let me open FootMob up here so we can see some of the statistics when it goes half-time. Currently, I will say though, Hilal have had here 60% possession, Salzburg 40% possession, and Hilal have had 9 total shots, whereas Salzburg 3. Of course, Salzburg more on target 2, whereas Hilal 1. That one chance there, saved brilliantly by Zawi. That was a very good save by him. And again, just proving the goalkeeper's clutching up every time in this tournament. And this is now Nasser Al-Dosri. Just a long ball out trying to find Renan Lodi. And this is Salam Al-Dosri now. And passes to Nasser. Now Salam. Now back to Koulibaly. Just crossing over to the right side there is Ruben Neves. And this is now going to be João Cancelo. Just brilliantly, you know, just tricking Kratzik there with a nice skill. How do they even play in the Hidden Saudi midnight games? Yeah, so the games here during the winter, it's actually cold here. It can get up to like in the morning sometimes. I think the lowest I've ever experienced is 3 degrees Celsius. But yeah, they play the games here usually late, 9 p.m. during the spring. There's no games during the summer, which is lucky. But then in August, when there's the return and it's still slightly hot from the summer, the games are played at like 10 or 11 p.m. But yeah, during the winter, it's like at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 4 p.m., like regular, you know, afternoon games. And there are cooling breaks as well, like you see in this tournament. There are a lot of cooling breaks in the SPL. and the SPL stadiums do have air conditioning. Just they're not the best stadiums yet. Of course, all the World Cup stadiums are going to become, the better stadiums to be used. For example, Qadsiya's current stadium, they were a newly promoted side last season, but since they're owned by Saudi Aramco, of course, you guys probably know them. They've got unlimited budget, basically. So their new stadium, the Aramco Stadium, is going to be fully indoor for the World Cup as well. And this is going to be now on this left side here. Tumbuktu just winning a corner for Al Hilal. And Salzburg need a little bit more real defensive clearance here, because I feel like if they get one breakaway chance, they could be set for a goal. It's just really, requiring that chance to come to them. It's going to require something like a very strong header, I feel. Salem Al Dosri taking this corner. Here we go. Salem crosses that in. That was a very, low corner there, but that's all good because it's now going to be an Al Hilal throw-in, it looks like. I think the same's in Qatar for the World Cup. Yes, they had AC. It's similar to the current setup for the AC in the current stadiums here, where it's like on the stands, the roof, and then the AC comes through. I think mainly the big one, the main World Cup final stadium was like full enclosed. Yeah, hopefully there is a goal before halftime here. I'm actually surprised there hasn't been one already. Very good defense from Salzburg, I do have to say. They are very defensively sound here. And that is just going to be cleared away there. Tumbuktu just collecting this nicely. What I will say is that Hilal are playing very risky, playing Koulibaly that high, especially when he is, the prime defender for them in terms of, being an absolute rock at the back, not including Bunu, the wall. But, yeah, they're very risking it, in the corners and the throw-ins, playing Koulibaly almost next to the goalkeeper. Especially when Tumbuktu's not, at the standard of Koulibaly. Most definitely not, he isn't. And this is now going to be Tumbuktu just passing to, I think that was Cancelo, just trying to find a fast ball there to Leonardo. And Malcolm tries to pressure, and it's now won back by Salzburg. And Milinkovic-Savic wins that back. Now it's Malcolm. There was a brilliant back heel from Milinkovic-Savic. Little touch from Malcolm to Ruben Neves. And now this is Cancelo. Cancelo just crossing that over to Renan Lodi there. Lodi, cross. Leonardo just headers it back. That was not in the right direction there for Leonardo. And this is now Renan Lodi passing it over to Ruben Neves. Ruben going to Koulibaly. Tumbuktu. Tumbuktu finding a very bad pass again. Not great. I do expect maybe Tumbuktu to come off, 50th minute, so because he is not looking that great. I do think squad depth is a focus still for many SPL teams, and I do think that instead of maybe put on a couple of get some young players from second divisions, definitely would be a good chance to get some squad depth starting to build in the SPL. Still while the youth academies are developing. Of course, the youth academies now are much better than they were before the project started, especially like 5 years ago. The youth academies, nothing like the current ones. I've witnessed it firsthand, but this is now going to be Cancelo. It's going to be Koulibaly. Just finding at the back here, Tumbuktu now crossing it through. That was a very risky pass there by Tumbuktu, but it's now won by Salem and past the Renan Lodi. Lodi back to Tumbuktu. And this is now going to be Ruben Neves finding a through ball there and reaching Malcolm. Malcolm getting ready to pass that. Ruben Neves now with it. I thought he was going to actually shoot there, Ruben, but he took a bit too long. Cancelo. That was bad from Cancelo. That was not great. He should have done the first initial cross instead of dotting. And that is a good win there by Nasser Al Dosri. And this is now going to be a chance here for Salem. Good defense from Salzburg to keep that in play. And this is now going to be Milinkovic-Savic here, who just wins it back. This is now Tumbuktu, Ruben Neves. And Nasser. Ruben. Now over to this right side here. It's now João Cancelo. Cancelo takes the shot, and that is just going to be what looks to be a corner here. Another corner for Al Hilal. And in stat terms, that is their 4th corner of today. I think it is anyway. That is, yeah, their 4th corner of today. I do think Tambakti might be replaced by Ali Lajami. Of course, he is a good defender. He was from Al Nassr, the traitor, absolute traitor, Ali Lajami, you know, saying, oh, I had so much fun at Al Nassr, and then joining the rival clubs like 2 days later, immediately changing his profile picture and saying, Halali forever. It's like, bro, were you actually playing for our club? But anyway, I do expect him to come on, the snake. Or, of course, the forbidden player, Ali Al-Bulahi, you know, the guy who messes with Ronaldo, Messi, Human Son, that very evil Saudi defender. And this is a cross coming into the box there, and it's just cleared away by Salzburg nicely. Goes actually back to Cancelo, and there's going to be another cross there coming close. And this is a chance for Nasser Al-Dosri, just not quick enough on terms of taking that shot there. And this is now Renan Lodi passing to Salam. Salam crossing that in. And this is a chance there, and that's just caught by Zawi. Brilliant catch. And there seems to be an injury here for Salzburg. I can't tell who that is. I think that is Diabate. He actually handballs the ball. That's why he has dropped. He has handballed the ball. I don't know if the ref's going to be checking for anything here. But there is a, you know, some sort of handball. I think maybe it's more elbow. I don't know. You guys can tell me if that you thought that was a penalty or not. I don't think it is, really. But, you know, we'll see. It's your bedtime. Well, have a nice sleep, Phil T. And thank you for tuning in, bro. Much appreciate it. Yes, and thank you for the good night as well. I don't know if this is a handball here. I don't think it is. Yeah, it's just a play on. Okay, Salzburg now bringing this one out here. Finally getting a little bit of possession. Lena passes through to Bidstrup. And I think this is Inzaghi's tactics, really. Is, you know, just retaining as much possession as possible. Using, you know, wingers and overlapping players to really cause some trouble from the crosses. That's what we kind of saw with Inter the other day. They're actually playing very similar to Inter Al Hilal. I have noticed that, just crossing it continually in the box. So, yeah, definitely Inter still using Inzaghi's tactics, and Inzaghi's tactics being employed here 100% for sure. Because this is nothing like Hilal this season in the league without Inzaghi as the coach. And this is now going to be passed back by Dorgeles now to Gadot. Rasmussen finding Dorgeles. And he just passes again. One touch back to Rasmussen there, nice and easy. And now over to the side, it is going to be Gluck. Am I studying over here? Yes, I am. I'm actually going to university in Riyadh. That's why I've got the Al Nassr home tickets. It's just for the Arabic course for 1 year while we still develop the channel, you know. And, of course, I want to learn Arabic because, you know, you guys probably can understand it'd be embarrassing, you know, living here for 8.5 years and not knowing Arabic. That's actually pretty crazy embarrassing. It is because of my teachers were very bad on... I went to a British school. Not going to say what school it is for privacy reasons, but yeah, the other subjects they taught good, but the teachers, you know, they didn't really care about the Arabic class because it was a ministry, you know, recommended. So yeah, they really just let us play video games during class. Is what it is. Then my most recent school didn't even offer it at all. So yeah, Nasser. And that is just going to be cleared out by Nasser Al-Dosri. Not really touched by Renan Lodi. Not great from him. This is going to be a throw-in for RB Salzburg. About to say Leipzig there. But I speak Arabic. No, I can only read it and write it. I cannot speak it. Like, I cannot, you know, understand what I'm reading. And I cannot, you know, speak it fluently. I can just, you know, read and write blindly without knowing what I'm actually saying. And this is going to be Yassin Bunu. Passing out to now Tambakti. Tambakti tries to give that down to Malcolm. That was a brilliant touch from Malcolm. Then not on the same wavelength there with Milinkovic-Savic. Hilal haven't made the most of their dominance in the last 3 minutes. I know this might come back to bite them, actually. Because, again, this is, you know, dominant football from them. But they're just not, you know, finishing. Do I think Malcolm will get subbed off second half? Wondering if I should take him over for one shot second half. I don't think Malcolm will get subbed off, especially since, you know, Hilal will want to retain as many international players for as long as possible because, as I mentioned before, squad depth is a big problem for SPL teams. Now, Hilal have one of the best squad depths just because all the Saudi national players do play for Al Hilal, basically. Only a few for Al Nassr and for some other clubs. But the best ones play for Al Hilal. So, yeah, they'll want to still try and retain international squad depth. I don't see Salam El Dosri coming off. I don't see Malcolm coming off. You might see Leonardo come off, really. Al Tambakti. 8.5, because most of the people here speak English. No, it's not them that don't want me to speak Arabic. It's my schools were international schools. They're not local schools. But the thing is as well, in the local schools, they actually teach in English. Because English and Arabic are both, becoming very, intertwined languages here. I think English is going to be an official language soon. I don't know. I think it might be already. And that's halftime. There we go. Halftime there for this game. And I'm very surprised. No goals before halftime. That is insanely surprising. Yeah, they should really be a goal up, Al Hilal, just based on, how much dominance they've had. Let's read the stats here. 62% possession, 38% possession for Salzburg, 62% for Al Hilal. Al Hilal's stats also include 0.76 expected goals, 10 total shots, 1 on target, 0 big chances, 256 accurate passes with 86% accuracy, 2 fouls, 4 corners. No problem, Joel, just doing my duty, I love explaining about SPL teams, because I hope one day that SPL can go up more and more. Yes, lots of knowledge in the Arabic language. That's why I need to learn it, I'm going to the university next year, guys, and I promise you, by the end of next year, I will know how to speak Arabic fluently. I promise you. And this is now Salzburg stats. 0.22 expected goals, 5 shots, 3 on target, 0 big chances, 161 accurate passes, 85% accuracy. Only 161 passes for Salzburg there. That's almost 100 less than Hilal. 6 fouls committed and 1 corner. And if they had a better striker, they would probably be winning. Yeah, that's the thing as well. I feel like Leonardo in this tournament's not showing his quality because he was so good in the second half of the SPL against the big teams. I'm not talking about, the weak teams, Thank you for tuning in, Stephen James. Thank you so much. Hope you have a nice rest of your sleep, bro. And hope to see you again in the future. But yeah, Leonardo definitely not that great this game or last game. I think Mitrovic would have been better, really, for some of these games. I know he's older. He might not run as much. He's only 30. I mean, it's not that old. But yeah, Mitrovic was performing for Hilal in the first season, when he came in 23-24. And then he was also performing half season, 24-25. So, yeah, Leonardo a disappointment at the moment, really. Most of Hilal's players have a green rating, actually, on FootMob, which is, again, don't really take FootMob full credibility, but they've most been playing well. I feel like the player of the match so far is probably going to go to Milinkovic-Savic, just between him really being the link-up, the midfield maestro, as I mentioned before. But yeah, 0-0 here is not ideal for Hilal at all. They need a win. They need one if they want to go to the round of 16. It's not even optional, really, anymore. Because Pachuca's going to be a hard game, especially how they played against Real Madrid. Of course, the problem here, really, is Pachuca and Hilal. I feel like it's best to compare Hilal to someone like Boca Juniors or River Plate, where if the Hilal players get touched, they will dive immediately. And that's how they play in the SPL. They play more like, South American teams where, very diving, trying to incite anger in the opponent. That's really how they do play, and that's how I expect them to play against Pachuca when, Pachuca's going to do it, and they're going to do it right back at them. Kind of like Monterrey versus River Plate, really, which was an absolute, insane game there with how many stoppages there was. It was like there was barely any gameplay. That's how many stoppages there were in that one. But yeah, so far, honestly, a pretty enjoyable half in terms of attacking football. A lot of defending from Salzburg. Salzburg knows most ready way to score a goal is waiting for an opponent mistake and quick counter-attack. Yes, definitely. That's what they utilized against Pachuca when they versed them. Salzburg really silenced Pachuca a little bit in that game. Of course, they did concede to make it 1-1, and then they did score, the winner. But, yeah, Salzburg know the counter-attack is the best way, especially against such an attacking team like Hilal. Hilal playing very similar to teams like, really, Boca, who go all attack, or Botafogo, who go very attacking, and then, you know, it just leaves them exposed. Actually, the best team really to compare them to might be Fluminense, where Fluminense were playing so attacking and just leaves them exposed at the back, where Olsen did really, you know, exploit that in that game. And that's why I feel like will happen here. You know, Hilal's going to be exploited because you saw Koulibaly coming almost all the way into the attack at some points. And that to me is a bit of a dangerous, risky move by Inzaghi to allow that to happen, because it seems very careless to leave Tambakti at the back there by himself, especially with his, you know, not at the quality of some of the other defenders for Al Hilal. So yeah, definitely we'll be waiting to see sort of a counter-attack play from Salzburg in the second half, and we'll see what the coach does implement. For substitutions, I do expect Leonardo to come off at some point. Probably for, I don't know who there really is. I guess El Khatani, he did give away the penalty though in the previous game. I don't know if Inzaghi will be willing to play him. Al Hamdan's good. He's pretty decent. I think Kano's the best substitute they have at the moment, along with Ali Lajami. In terms of, you know, taking off Al Tambakti, I can see that. Nasser Al Dosri, I can see coming off too, and putting on Kano in the midfield. Kano was good against Real Madrid as well. Al Tambakti, yeah, I can see coming off for either Lajami or Balahi. It really just depends. If Hilal want to throw the game, put on Balahi, yeah, for sure. Put on Balahi, because he'll give away a red card 100%. But, yeah, definitely, you know, putting on Lajami is, you know, probably the most ideal move. Hilal wants to score. Hilal wants to win, but a draw is a good score for them too. Probably they want to win a group to avoid Bayern or PSG. Inzaghi pointing to face Juventus after and aiming to meet. Yeah, I do think that will be the case here, maybe for Hilal to not win the group. And, you know, this could actually come down to goal difference, really. Because if they win against Salzburg, right, first of all, Hilal have to rely on Real Madrid winning against Salzburg, which I don't know if, of course, Salzburg very good at, you know, defense and counter-attack, something Real Madrid seem to be weak against. But I feel like if Hilal beat Pachuca and then they draw with, if they win against Salzburg and draw with Pachuca, that would be the best outcome for them. Because if Real win against Salzburg, then Hilal would be in, I think, how many points would they have? They would have 5 points, yeah, so they'd be in second versus Juventus, which would be a more ideal opponent instead of City. Of course, if City do win against Juventus, which at the moment it's not really looking like it, it's looking like Juventus might be the stronger team in Group G, then, of course, Hilal would be worse off because they'll have to verse Man City. But Juventus probably an ideal opponent for Hilal in terms of round of 16 possible opponents. Real Madrid will probably do better, actually, against City because City seem to be, you know, I feel like they sometimes do good against Real Madrid, but most of the time, you know, Real Madrid just, you know, absolutely pushes them and, you know, might expose some of these backline mistakes that Man City have been making in certain games. Pachuca will lose with Al Hilal. Yeah, definitely it could be Hilal win against Pachuca just because, you know, the inciting aggression from both sides. I can actually see Hilal playing Balahi in the Pachuca match just to make them really annoyed and, you know, get this South American aggression, the Mexican, Latin American aggression out, you know. I can see that happening. And definitely Hilal winning against them and then drawing against Salzburg is a possibility for them for sure. Though, of course, you know, for the reputation of the SPL, I don't think it's a good idea if Hilal do draw against Salzburg. They'll want to try and win just for the league reputation, of course. It's going to be hard because Salzburg, very defending team, you know, but for league reputation, a Hilal win would be ideal for them against both the opponents. But then that's going to put them at risk, you know, versing a Manchester City team. Juve lose with City, they not play that good. City is Guardiola machine. Like, yeah, definitely Pep puts in, you know, especially with the new signings, he's definitely going to have a tactic here to beat Juventus, especially exploiting that right side with Francisco Conceição. We saw he was not performing against Wydad Casablanca, and it's because they were really putting on a very defensive masterclass on that, on their left back side and their left mid side. So yeah, definitely I could see Pep, you know, playing more defenders on the left, exploiting through the right. Possibly a key player for Juventus in that game will be Thuram Ulian because he is so good. Yeah, a draw is a good deal if they win the last game and have promotion. Yeah, for sure. Definitely for SPL's respect, I would like Hilal to get promoted just for some respect on SPL, but for sure, that's probably their aim too. If they don't get promoted, I think it's going to be a mission failed really for Al Hilal in terms of, you know, they really were pushing for promotion here to get to the round of 16 minimum. That was their goal. It was the league goal to get to round of 16. That's why they were trying to sign Osman before the tournament. They really wanted to get a good striker in to replace Leonardo Mitrovic since he's injured. But yeah, they didn't get him. Osman might join, after this Club World Cup. It's going to be hard for them to convince Osman. Tio Hernandez looks very likely to join them, though. So that'll be a good replacement for Renan Lodi. Add some squad depth because Lodi then can come on as a sub. Unfortunately, league rules currently for Saudi Pro League state that there has to be at least, I think, 2 Saudi internationals or 3 Saudi internationals on the field. I think it's 2, which, that's not really in many other leagues. But the reason it is there is because they want to make sure the Saudi players do get spots and so that their own talent is developing. Fair enough. I agree with that. But yeah, definitely it's going to, limit how many internationals really these top SPL teams can buy because all the international players will want to be playing, They will be wanting to start most games. And so that might be a problem for Lodi. I'm not too sure what his opinions are on it, but for sure, if Al Hilal win this game, is it fair to say that they are basically through? Well, let's check. So if they win this game, right, they'll go to 4 points. So they'll be equal with Real Madrid. Salzburg will be on 3. Yeah, you could argue that. I guess their only hope to not get in would be Salzburg winning against Real Madrid. So basically, you could argue they're through there. Even if they lose to Pachuca, if Salzburg loses to Real Madrid, it's still a through way for them. At least if they lose here, everything in their hands. Last game for promotion between Great Real and Red Bull. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Hilal having the last game in their hands, because a loss here still will put them, with the possibility of being promoted, for sure. It's not 100% that they'll be through, but for sure it's like a 90% chance if they win, they'll be through just based on the fact that Real will most likely win against Salzburg. I don't really see them losing that, but sure. Yeah, if Salzburg draw with Madrid, no, because if Salzburg draw with Madrid, right? So say they draw with Madrid, they will get no goal difference increase, and then say, oh yes, of course, if they lose against Pachuca, yeah. Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from, Basic Voice, yeah. W smartness there. I was not smart about thinking about that. Bit dumb there. Smash like for being smart. But yeah, let's see how much time left on this half. Let's see. Club World Cup fixtures. Salzburg Hilal. 2 minutes until next half. Okay, so we are lucky that it's coming up. We are coming up here to this next half. And actually have a sip of water. Okay. They lost game with Hilal. Yeah, for sure. So Hilal, technically, it'll be good if they win this game for their sake because they'll get to, 4 points, I think it is. Salzburg will be on 3. And then, hoping that Real win against Salzburg. I want to see what order those games are in. So if we go to the matches, right? So let's see. So Hilal versus Pachuca is on 27th, Friday. And Real Madrid versus Salzburg is on the 27th, Friday. But what time? 4 a.m. Okay, so it will be... I think they're both at the same time. Are they? Let me check. Yeah, they're both at both matches at the same time. So we'll know the promotion when both matches happen. So... that's going to be tense because starting tomorrow, guys, there will be 2 matches on. Starting tonight, actually, for me, but tomorrow for some of you guys. There'll be 2 matches on at the same time for each fixture. So there'll be 2 matches at 4 a.m. KSA time and 2 matches at 10 a.m. KSA time. 10 p.m., KSA time. So the first 2 matches for round 3, which all of these are going to really show who's getting promoted, is Atleti versus Botafogo and Seattle Sounders versus PSG. Atleti Bota is the biggest match of that, to be honest, of this game period. Because, if Bota win against Atleti, they're through. They're through if they win. But if Atleti win, they're through. Seattle Sounders a win against PSG would literally prevent really some hopes for PSG there. They would really have to hope that Atleti doesn't win that game. And then of course, the next day, 4 a.m., Porto versus Olali SC and Inter Miami versus Palmeiras. I'm pretty sure it's reconfirmed that Inter Miami and Palmeiras are getting through. I think so. Yeah, Inter Miami and Palmeiras can either of them get through. If they draw, both of them get through. So if Inter Miami draws with Palmeiras, both get through on 5 points. If Palmeiras wins, then Porto or Olali still can get through, but the goal difference is what matters. Of course, Porto still have the highest chance of getting through with the goal difference of -1, but Olali can get through if they still have to beat Porto. I think it is 1 to make it -1, 2 to make it 0. I think it's 4-0. They have to beat Porto and then hope that, but minimum. If Palmeiras win, of course, that might be 3-0, I think. But I don't see that happening. Atletico Boca is another perfect example of European South American football. Yes, I actually can't wait. I think Atleti won't win. And that's the problem because Atleti is not looking good in their games. I know they have won their games, but they've not been looking good. PSG, they look bad against them, 4-0. And then against Seattle, they actually looked, even though they got the set-piece win, they got 2 set-piece goals, they did not look that great. Seattle really exploiting them near the end. Palmeiras into Miami, Messi will play for a draw. Yes, exactly. That's what Messi will try and do with his team. Ustari, hopefully he can put up a performance for Inter Miami. But yeah, at the moment, it's seeming like that both Inter Miami and Palmeiras will go through there. Definitely Messi might play for a win, though, because, you know, if Inter Miami win, they will be versing a second-place team. So, definitely that might be on the table for them. Though, if they win, I think they play PSG. But if they lose, they play... if they draw, they'll play Botafogo. Yeah, and it's a 0-0 game, yeah. Definitely, if I think they'll be playing for a draw, yeah. And you think this game is 0-0, okay. And this match is about to start, actually. So, we're about to see that there is a substitution coming on. I don't take any offense for opinions, no problem, basic voice. Diabate coming off, and Melberg is coming on. So, turn the AC on now. It is starting to get a bit hot in here. And we're about to see if there's any substitutions for Al Hilal. I don't think there are. Yeah, definitely. Inter Miami want Botafogo for sure. So yeah, they'll be playing for a draw, 100%. They'll be trying not to, you know, which is a little bit weird, you know, seeing a team purposely play for a draw. But you know, it's for their best interest. I don't think PSG would be that great for them. 100%. I don't think so. And this is going to be a Salzburg kickoff. And there we go. The kickoff has started, and it's not halftime anymore because it is kickoff. Any prediction changes, guys? Drop them below in the chat. I'll read them all out. Still, Al Hilal got the most votes there with 72%. Salzburg, 23%. Draw, 5%. Is shaping at the moment to be a draw, but we will see what will be the score here. I think, you know, maybe a 1-0er, honestly. It might come down to a late goal from Hilal to win the game or Salzburg to win the game. It really just depends on if Salzburg have switched up. They might still be playing, you know, very defensively and waiting for the counter chance. We'll have to see. This is now, though, Salzburg with the ball here. Just a nice pass from Kratzig finding number 9 there, Oni Siwo. But that is cleaned up by Yarcancelo. Foul for Al Hilal. Late goal would be perfect for drama. Draws Salzburg. Yeah, definitely. But I see Al Hilal's quality. Salzburg will probably be, you know, very, again, defensive. I can see a 0-0er in the future for this game. Just like, you know, we had Monterrey, River Plate. You know, we had a lot of goals for that one in prediction, and it ended up being a 0-0er because Monterrey played super defensive. River Plate ended up, you know, squandering all the momentum in that game from continual fouls. How did Salzburg get there? I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea why Salzburg was in the UEFA slot for teams. Definitely not deserved as much as, you know, like Liverpool, Napoli, so many other teams they could have picked. So the team for Al Hilal has not changed as it stands. only one substitution for both of the teams, and that was, of course, Somalia Diabate coming off for Salzburg and John Melberg coming on. This is now Al Hilal. Now, the difference is, if this was Etihad as the team here instead of Salzburg, Etihad easy win. I'm not joking, guys. Etihad genuinely so good with Benzema in the front. Here's a chance for Salzburg, though. Quick counter, as we said, and perfect defense from Ruben Neves. Perfect defense there. Ask Google. Yeah, I'll ask them. How did Salzburg qualify for Club World Cup? Let's see. The Austrian club has been a regular participant in the UEFA Champions League and returns to the Club World Cup, looking to validate their strength. It's part of the Continental Growth Initiative for UEFA. So they selected a UEFA team that's been consistent in the Champions League, but hasn't, of course, really made it out of the group stage. So that's why Salzburg was selected for this tournament. And that is still going to be cleared by Al Hilal. There is a shot on the volley, and there's a brilliant block by Bunu. That is such an amazing block, guys. And there's an off-the-goal-line clearance by Koulibaly. And Salzburg suddenly are looking very attacking. But here is a very good chance for Hilal, and that is just going to be cleared away. Both teams on a very good counter-attack, just 2 in a row. Bunu, player of the match, guys. Make sure to vote him now. I'm going to put the vote thing down. Vote Bunu, player of the match. He is so good. Player of the match there. Play.fifa.com/Potham. Yeah, it is for money, Salzburg being here. It's just to promote UEFA lower teams, you know, show UEFA quality. Bunu, insane. Double block, and then the Koulibaly clearance off the line. Bunu, insanity for Al Hilal, keeping them in this game again. Just like the Real Madrid one. He was so crucial in that, saving that penalty, because it kept their hopes alive, really. And this is a chance here for Cancelo on the right. Just cross coming in for Salem El Dosri and just cleared away. Out for a corner for Al Hilal, another corner for them, and it looks like it's going to be, how many corners now? The 5th corner of this game for Al Hilal. The good thing about Salzburg is they have a lot of players in the box that are, you know, header worthy, because right now Mitrovic missing. The only really header guy here is Koulibaly and Milinkovic-Savic. The rest of them aren't so, but, you know, Mitrovic, if he was here, you know, very deadly in the box. He would be marked, essentially. And here's across from Ruben Neves, and that is very close to a goal, but it is going out for a goal kick. Milinkovic-Savic says it did deflect off someone. Looks like it's going to be another corner, actually. The referee might have changed his mind here. We'll have to see if there's a corner decision or not. It is going to be another corner. Milinkovic-Savic did get the referee corrected there. Ruben Neves crossing in. And just punched away by Zawi there. Brilliant punch. And this is going to be tied up by Renan Lodi. It's now Salem El Dosri. El Dosri back to Renan Lodi there. Al Hilal needs this win. Yeah, they only have a draw, whereas Salzburg already have 3 points. Exactly. This is a needed win. There's a shot from long range there from Ruben Neves. Not a good shot from him. Just wasting possession, really. Should have been played out a little bit longer. And now this is now the side here for Salzburg. It's now Rasmussen. Looks like Godot's actually gone onto the right side. Yeah, he's gone onto the right side there. And it looks like that lane has gone into the middle of the group here. And, of course, they've actually, if you guys didn't know, John Melberg, the guy just subbed on for Salzburg, is a defender. So they're going to be playing more park the bus, I guess, because they've subbed off a attacking midfielder for a defender. And I can see that happening, you know, continually throughout this game. More defenders being subbed on for RB Salzburg. They are playing, you know, pretty defensively, it looks like. Definitely the strategy they are looking for, of course, through counterattacks. Kratzig just passing back to this left-back side here, where it is Melberg passing now to Rasmussen, now Godot. And this is going to be now a ball on the side here for Dogeles. Being tightly marked by Lodi and Salem El Dosri. And that is just given away by Salzburg. It's going to be a throw-in for Renan Lodi and Al Hilal. Just a bit of wasted possession there for Rasmussen. And Lodi probably going to throw to Koulibaly. No, he takes a long throw to Milinkovic-Savic, and it's back to Lodi there, and he's going to cross this one down the field to Cancelo. Good cross there to switch the side play. Cancelo, long ball, trying to find Leonardo. It actually looks like maybe it was a shot from Cancelo more than anything, but yeah, it doesn't really do anything. The goalkeeper just collects that one nice and easy. It's going to be Lena now on the right side here for Salzburg. And this is going to be El Dosri just winning a throw in there. Brilliant skill from El Dosri, just backheeling it straight into the Salzburg player, Durgueles. Hilal don't need a win. They consider Mexico team as the weaker. 2 draws and win in the last game is 5 points, yeah. But better, yeah, it's more safe to win. That's why I feel is the, the thought behind this one, though. Definitely more safer to get this win, for sure. Especially if Juve comes second and Hilal come first in the group, based on goal difference, Because Pachuca really didn't let Real build up the goal difference too big, to be honest. Like, it wasn't too much goal difference. It is a +2 only. Hilal, if they get 1-0 win here, it'll be a +1. Definitely a loss is the worst outcome. And this is now going to be Al Hilal just trying to play through there. It's now Milinkovic-Savic trying to find Malcolm, and that is not a good play from Milinkovic-Savic. Do I still think someone's going to score? Most likely, I do think there's going to be a goal. I mean, it is at the moment 0-0 still. Salzburg very defensive, but yeah, I do think still maybe it's going to be a 1-0 game. I can see that happening, like a very fast breakaway goal, unexpected. And this is going to be a cross coming in for Hilal. Very deep cross there. That was actually a very poor play from Leonardo again. And this is going to be Ruben Neves. And he just loses that. Still Hilal with possession. They are playing very attacking. And again, Salzburg playing with, 7 guys at the back here. Cancelo cuts in. Cancelo cross coming in. And he actually just misses the goal himself there. He goes for a shot. And this is now on the other side here for Milinkovic-Savic. This is going to be Renan Lodi. Cross coming in again. And just headed out for a corner. Yeah, breakthrough. 0-0 and 70%. Yeah, definitely. As time passes, the feeling of a draw becomes more realistic. Yeah. So we'll only really be able to tell, going into maybe like the minute 70, where, 0-0, it definitely will start to set in maybe a feeling of 0-0. What a chance for Hilal, though. This is now how many corners? There have been so many corners in this game. This is their 7th corner. This is like Fluminense, really. Fluminense versus Salzburg. Similar feeling game, really. Fluminense versus Olsen Hyundai. Similar feeling game here. And that is not headed right by Koulibaly. Still a chance for Al Hilal. Take the shot. That is a very bad shot there from Saddam. Should have been just aimed a little bit more down. I think he's just trying to get over the heads of the players there. But yeah. Al Hilal really pushing now, exactly. It's because they're starting to get worried here that especially from that counter chance, that might scare them a little bit, actually. That very close goal where Bunu blocked that, and then the goal line clearance, that must have scared them a little bit here. Yeah, no mistakes equals no goal. Bunu essential, though, in that goalkeeping slot for Al Hilal. Really one of their best signings they've made, I think. Bunu coming in from, I think, his previous club, Sevilla. This is going to be Salzburg. Over to the left side here, Kratzig. Just playing it back now to Rasmussen. Team's losing ball a lot, or only after attacks. It feels like that the ball is only being lost, after the attack is over, and it's really just when it's a goal kick. For at least Hilal losing the ball. Salzburg is losing, in the field sometimes. Hence why they've got low possession at the moment. They've only got really a 40 possession rate, 40%, whereas Hilal got 60% one. Hilal only really using... Here's a chance for Al Hilal. It's a 2v1. It's a 2v1 that's emerged here. Malcolm and Leonardo. Is it Malcolm going to score? He tries to cut in. Passes to Leonardo there. He passes to Salam Al-Dosri, actually. Back to Malcolm. Takes the shot, and it's just wide. Oh, it's a goal. Maybe. Is that... No, it didn't go in. It looks so close to being a goal, guys. I actually can't believe it wasn't. Malcolm really should have done better there. That is poor from him. Not great at all from Malcolm. And I don't think he can believe he hasn't scored there. He is very frustrated with himself. That is such a good counter chance for Al Hilal. And just like Salzburg before, they are so deadly on the counter. They had 2 guys running forward there. Malcolm should have really cut a little bit quicker there. He didn't do a good job. I mean, Salzburg tracking back for the defenders is excellent, guys. It's so good. They had 5 defenders back, after it being a 2v1 situation. The last defender, I think that was Rasmussen. That was really good. It's actually a corner, it seems like, for Al Hilal. So it was deflected off someone. It wasn't a missed shot. And this is going to be now Salzburg losing possession there. That was a very bad loss. No goal. No goal. I did think it was. I thought it went in, but no. It really did seem like it because it looked like Malcolm celebrated and then he dropped down to the floor because he realized it didn't go in. Ruben Neves. Now, Milinkovic-Savic, I think it just got deflected off the last defender. There's a chance very close, and that is going to be a corner, it looks like, for Hilal. There is a possible check for a penalty. Koulibaly shoved straight down. Yeah, they're checking for a penalty here. Inzaghi's going to hope that there's a pen somehow. It's unlucky, a great block, so it was unlucky from Malcolm. Yeah, definitely it was unlucky from him. Is this a penalty? Yeah, it's a dive. Absolute dive from Koulibaly. Classic Hilal play right there. Sorry, Hilal fans, that is classic of your team. Completely just diving. I'm sorry, it's not SPL, Hilal. You can't get the refs on your side this time. It's going to be what seems to be a corner, I think. Still checking for the pen. Yeah, there's none. I don't think there is. Actually, it's a throw-in for Salzburg. Okay. Salzburg being given a throw-in. I did think it was a corner there, but no. Koulibaly now playing on the left-back side here. Again, he should be in the center. I don't know what Inzaghi's telling him, but he needs to go back in that center area because he's been, he's crucial for these running defenders through the middle. This is going to be a Salzburg free kick. Nasser Al-Dosri, can't believe this is actually a free kick. Let's go and check ourselves if this is one on the replay here. Let's have a look. Is this a free kick? Yeah, it's actually kind of hard to tell. I think it is. Just because Nasser really sticks his foot out as he goes to take a shot on the ball. I think it just clips the side of his foot. And this is going back. What makes me think the Saudi Academy is so good? Because my brother's in one. We got 4... I think I said this in some previous streams. We got 5 UEFA A licensed coaches. Not just even... They're not all Saudi coaches. They're some professional ones from other countries. UEFA License A, which is the highest license degree for the UEFA, company, the associated body. There's also some UEFA License B coaches. There's Asian League. I don't know what the Asian Confederation is called. I forgot. But there's some Asian licensed coaches for A and B. The academies have got all new facilities. They're still upgrading. My brother's current academy's got 3 new indoor facilities and whole new pitches. All the pitches are high quality. They've all been updated. Last 5 years, a lot of updates on the academies here. Before 5 years ago, definitely they weren't up to standard. But now, yeah, new coaches, proper tournaments. My brother's playing in a tournament with... I think it's Manchester City Academy, the proper one from UK. It's a tournament. I don't know where it's going to be hosted, but we'll see. It's with a bunch of different Prem and Bundesliga clubs. So yeah, definitely it is good. My brother plays in one. I've seen the quality of football. It is good quality, guys. I'm not just, you need players to compare with. Well, I don't know how to compare 12-year-olds basic voice. But yeah. You can try and compare 12-year-olds. Maybe, if you visit anytime Saudi, I don't know if you will or not, see a youth academy game, maybe it's good. My brother's good. The coaches have moved him up, I think, 2 years because he is very good. Tournaments against European teams is very good. Yes, they are versing European teams. There's a lot of European team tournaments. There are a lot. My brother's academy actually won one against, I think it was Manchester City. It was the U17 tournament. They won against Manchester City U17s. They won last year, I think. It was a tournament, I think, might have been in Germany. It was a hosted tournament. I think it was with Manchester City, Eintracht Frankfurt, maybe another. I don't know. But yeah, they did because they've got like the big trophy and everything in their thing. Here's a chance for Al Hilal, and it's just sent back to the keeper there, just trying to get rid of it. Zoe gives a nice clearance pass there out to Salzburg. But yeah, the biggest thing, is really the facilities improving. I think that's great. Indoor facilities, the coaches are good quality. That's the big thing. UEFA License A coaches are, very good to see in an academy. And that's cleared away nicely by Ruben Neves. Actually, it just goes to a Salzburg player, so not that great. And Bunu with an easy catch. And that is going to be a goal play for Al Hilal. Again, you've seen Bunu, brilliant goalkeeper. Him and, I think it's him and Modric, I think best friends in football. I didn't even know that. Modric and Bunu, and Courtois and Bunu as well. Best friends. Don't know if anyone knew that. I didn't know that myself, but okay. Yeah, someone is bringing new eyes all around the world to watch Al Hilal. Do you think the Saudi League will eventually become one of the biggest in overall quality, rivaling the big leagues? It's going to take time for sure, because what the project currently is first of all, the youth academies will take kind of a while to, continue to develop, because this is only a couple of youth academies at the moment. You need more, like, every youth academy up to that standard, right? And first of all, welcome Jerry Reed to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have a nice day. But yeah, so youth academies need to be, continue to improve across the whole of Saudi. The next thing is that the hard part is that the Saudi transportation system needs to improve, because currently the trains only run from my area, Khobar, to Riyadh. And they're good quality trains, nothing wrong with that, but they don't run to other cities. I actually live 5 hours away from Al Nasser, and some people wonder why there's so little attendance. It's because the cities are so far apart, guys. Al Nasser Stadium to, like, Al Ittihad Stadium is like a 7-hour drive or an 8-hour drive by car. So it's, really, dispersed, teams and that. So that's why there are, sometimes less stadiums, especially for the smaller teams. You're not going to have, the bottom of the table teams have their whole fans travel around with them to different locations. Still any chance of a goal? Yeah, still, I think 1 goal at least in this whole game. Maybe at the 70 is where we can start, really confirming a 0-0 here. But yeah, as well for the Pro League, the one thing I like about their mission, which I was about to say before, is that they're doing 1 team at a time per year. So this year, the developed team was Qadsiya. Next year, so the current season coming up, 25-26, will be this new team promoted called Neom, which are like near the line, the line project. And then, the year after, we could see another team get, funding for promotion, another team, so on, until, every team has equal funding. That's how they're doing it so far. And, of course, the big teams already still get additional funding. It takes a while, but, yeah, definitely stumbled on my voice there. Yeah, I'm good so far. 0-0. Yep, definitely not happy that's a 0-0, to be honest. I was expecting more goals, but yeah. And let's see what you said here, Basic Voice. Once I played against pro players, magical experience for you, 10 levels up, but at least you get experience in real and you know where to level up. Yeah, I think Yamal's so good because he got example from Messi. Yeah, exactly. If Hilal score, but I don't think so, then Salzburg definitely will come back and maybe even win the game. Yeah, we'll have to see, We'll have to see. But yeah, that's the mission, basically. But here we go. Back to the commentation. If you have any more questions as well, guys, about SPL, do ask me, because I'll help you out and with any questions. Al Tombakti, now just passing to Koulibaly. Now it's Milinkovic-Savic there. Back to Tombakti. I'm surprised here that there's not been many substitutions. I think one just came on then while I was talking. Let's have a look who it was. Yeah, there was 2 subs there. So Tomasz Rex, he subbed off Adam Daghim, replacing Karim Onisiwo. And Sota Kitano is replacing Oscar Glock. Surprised Glock didn't really, rep today for Salzburg. He was good last game. This game, not so much. Hi, Ugri. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's continue back with this commentation here. And we have just Hilal Salam just losing the ball there for a throw-in. Inzaghi possibly thinking about substitutions. He has to be careful, though. He doesn't want to take off, the key players just yet. Because, again, squad depth a little bit lacking. And this is now going to be a throw-in for Salim Al-Dostri and Al Hilal. Just gives it to Renan Lodi here. Renan Lodi, the most infamous for Real Madrid fans. He did score a winning goal for Atleti against them. And now this is going to be Renan Lodi now through the middle here. Just pass it out to Salem. And this is going to be a chance for Hilal, just cleared away by Salzburg. I think that was a poor clearance because the goalie, Zawi, was wanting to pick that one up. But yeah, now it's on the side here for Malcolm. Milinkovic-Savic just does a 3-ball pass, and that just reaches, and it's going to be crossed in there, and it looks like it's going to be a corner. Oh, it's a goal kick. Okay, yeah, it did go out when it was the cross. Inzaghi knows what he's doing. Yeah, he does. Inzaghi's saving the subs. Definitely is. It's a good play, you know, because I feel like if they save the, you know, if they save Cano till later, because he's probably the best Saudi sub currently on the bench, like he is a good quality, plays for the national team. I think saving him for later on will be a good strategy because you want to reserve the amount of quality for later. Here is a good sub for Al Hilal, though, at the moment. And it is Cano coming on here. And off will be coming, I think that's Nasser Al-Dosri. No, it is Malcolm. Malcolm's coming off. That's surprising. I did say Malcolm probably wouldn't come off, but he's come off here at the 67th minute. And that is the first substitution that I'm actually surprised about. I would have thought Nasser Al-Dosri would be coming off, but no. Best coach in the competition at the moment. Yeah, definitely Inzaghi, very good. Yeah, Hilal is definitely a good team. Yeah. And that is a good tackle there by what's to be Tombakti, I think. Just a good, nice tackle. And it looks like there is an offside call. So it's going to be a free kick for Al Hilal. Just going to let my dog out of the field. If you guys have any questions as well, let me know. Just let her outside. Okay, back. Sorry, guys, for a slight delay there. Back now. But yeah, Al Hilal definitely showing some quality, you know, in this game, especially Inzaghi. I think is a great coach for them. Hopefully we'll see some, you know, new signings in the SPL this season for Al Nassr, though, on the terms of them, because I know Miguel Conceição's coming. I don't know who would fit the system at the moment. I'm really contemplating who would come here to Al Nassr to play with Cristiano. Here's Milinkovic-Savic just passing it through to Lodi. Cross coming in, trying to find Cano. That is not a good cross from Renan Lodi. It's one back, though, by Nasser Al-Dosri. And now this is going to be Tombakti. A little one touch with Nasser. Now onto this right side here is Yao Cancelo. Yao Cancelo just one touching again with Cano. Malcolm hit with the one shot. Yeah. Yeah, that one shot just deflected. Yeah. And here's a chance for Hilal, just cleared away. That was good by Salem to give that, you know, lofted pass. I was really skeptical about the Club World Cup before it started, but I'm really enjoying watching teams that I never watch. Yeah, same with me, to be honest. I just think maybe the team selection in the end, for some teams could have been better. Like certain teams, I feel like it should be the winners of the leagues that season and the previous season should be in it. Not, you know, winners from like 4 or 5 years ago. But otherwise, yeah, really enjoyed watching some of these teams that I've never watched before, like Pachuca, Monterrey. Monterrey is so good. Who else is there? Salzburg, I've never watched them before. Enjoying it. Sundowns, Esperance, all brilliant teams. Seattle, I was surprised by them for the MLS quality there. And that is going to be a goal kick for Salzburg. That is another, you know, clearance from Sergei that just hits off target there. Can I ask Google who will win the competition? Let's ask Gemini AI who will win. Who do you think will win Club World Cup 2025 in... Just give the team name. Just give the team name. Also based on current performance. Okay. Let's see who they give Gemini here. They said PSG. They said PSG will win the Club World Cup. Okay. I think that's Champions League biased a little bit, to be honest, but okay. And this is going to be Red Diamonds. Tomorrow we'll decide, yeah, if PSG win against Seattle and Bota, you know, win against Atleti, they're both going through. And this is now going to be on the right side here for Salzburg. Just trying to really find some passes through Salzburg. And this is now stolen by Salam Al-Dosri. And there's a good through ball. It's just deflected just at the end there. Trying to reach Leonardo, but yeah, not quite. And this is now Salzburg again on a chance here with Kratzig. And this is a ball going over to the side here for Lehner. And it's just passing around for Salzburg at the moment. Do I ever watch MLS? No, I haven't really watched many MLS games. I think I've just watched one, I think, like quite a while ago. I think it was Messi's debut game or something. But yeah, I haven't watched MLS. But I'm so surprised by Seattle's quality. It's really good. Definitely a very good quality team. They're one of those MLS teams that I don't think have many, you know, extremely starred players, like internationally alone. I know Frey is good. Probably their most famous on there. But yeah, MLS is such a good quality. I think that they possess in terms of, you know, balanced league. I definitely think it's a very balanced league in terms of anyone can win it, really, on a good season. I like how it's balanced like that. Don't really like how there's I know two conferences basically necessary. I think they should really have, you know, the same league format as, you know, all the other leagues, really. I think that'll be interesting to see who will get relegated and promoted. Maybe cause some more competition, because there's no real punishment for if you lose a game, because you don't win the league. If you're a low team, you're not going to win the league for sure. There's no punishment in losing a game, unfortunately. You asked AI the same question the other day, and it said Barcelona. What? Barcelona aren't even in it. Legia Warsaw. And it looks like there might be a bit of an injury here for Tombakti. He's just holding his foot here, which would be unfortunate for Hilal to lose Tombakti, especially, you know, he's actually been playing decent this game, I gotta say. He's actually stepped up from the previous game. Arabic AI. And this is going to be... It looks like the referee's mic's come off. It's a cooling break. Okay, so we'll put the water break thing back on there. Water break. There we go. So just Inzaghi giving some final tactics. Now is really the time, really, where, you know, it's a now or never goal. It's a cooling break. There's only about, you know, 10, 15 minutes left of this game. So really, you know, they're going to have to start pumping up the quality here, both teams, to try and get a win here. MLS Nashville. Okay, I'll write that down. Thank you, Joel. Also got an empty box there. I don't know why. I'll write this down in my recommendations book. If you have any recommendations for football shirts as well, guys, do let me know, because I'll write them down as well in my recommendations book here. Okay, so MLS Nashville. Yeah, I'm still feeling a goal, but, you know, it's starting to look like a 0-0, unfortunately. I did think that, you know, this would be a fairly dominant performance for either side, really. I felt like it could go one way or another. I was back in, of course, the SPL with Al Hilal, but, you know, deep down, I knew really that either side could have a dominant display. But, yeah, having a 0-0 this late is surprising. Hani Mukhtar. Okay, I'll write his name down next to it. Hani Mukhtar. Thank you for giving me that recommendation, Joel. Thank you. Bunu just telling Kano, because I think Kano's going to be dropping into a DM position for this thing. Bunu just telling him where to place, especially for those goal kicks that he'll send out. There, I just wrote that down as well, so thank you for the suggestions. Edgar Davids, Barcelona t-shirt. Okay. I'll write that down. It's not sure I'd wear a Barca shirt, though, because as a Real Madrid fan, that would be pretty disrespectful to the club. But, yeah, for sure, you know, maybe get it as a collector's item. And Hilal they need, technically a draw's fine, but they do need a goal, really, for more of a chance of success. Because, you know, you can't always rely on Real Madrid doing up the cleaning there. Who looks more likely to get the winner? Hilal at the moment more likely to get the winner. They've just had so many good attacking chances. Their finishing is kind of like Bayern's in that Boca game. They just weren't finishing these chances. Actually, more comparable to Inter. Maybe Inzaghi's brought Inter's gameplay over to here as well with the finishing, because for sure it seems like that. Yeah, they definitely don't want to concede Hilal, so they might start playing park the bus maybe a little bit, because a goal here would ruin them. They're finished if they get a goal against them. It's done. Or basically done anyway. I don't think there's really any sort of, yeah, they're done if they lose. So far, your predictions in the channel are extremely lucky. Yes, Basic Voice, definitely your predictions have been, you know, on par with, you know, knowing the result of the game beforehand. Kind of sus. Smash like for predictions, guys. Here we go. Tumbakti just playing it out here to the right side. Cancel a little chip pass back to Tumbakti. Al Hilal of 18 shots, but only 3 on target. Yeah, it's just been, you know, the Inter curse there, because Inter had like 25 the other day with 2 on target or something stupid, or 3 on target, which was crazy, you know, against Red Diamonds. Milinkovic-Savic. The referee actually intercepts Milinkovic-Savic's play there. That is poor from the referee. Really should move, but no, he stood AFK in the field there to intercept that one. Just on upset because Juve lost a goal. Yeah, just losing the clean sheet. Unfortunately, Di Gregorio did not get that one. The water break thing. Yeah, this could be, you know, the chance. The water break happening near the end here. A goal from the water break, you know, we'll have to see. There is a chance here for Salzburg. It's a nice defense from Cano. That is brilliant defense from Cano, actually. Perfect from him. And this is going to be Savic just passing it through, trying to find some space here. That's some good play from Cano again. And it's lost by Hilal. Just a little miscommunication between Savic and Cano. And this is going to be Bunu crossing it down the field onto this left side here for Renan Lodi. Bad touch by Renan Lodi. Just chips it over, though. Finds Salam El-Dosri. Dosri finds a little pass through to Ruben Neves. And it's going to be a throw-in for Al Hilal. You asked Siri, and she said that average YouTube streamer's lifespan is 3 to 5 years. Luckily, I've only been doing it for 2 months, so at least I've got, you know, some time on me. I mean, not including my break from YouTube from, you know, my first, like, 5 videos, and then I had a massive break. But, yeah, my real YouTubing started, like, 2 months ago, so lucky. 0-0 stars are lucky for both teams, yeah. And it looks like that Hilal are making a substitution here. Cancelo coming off for Hamid. Hopefully, Hamid can do a good duty in this defensive position. He's definitely going to have to step it up, Hamid Aliami, because Cancelo was good on the defense, I have to say. He's a very good defender. Again, don't really want him on Portugal, even though he's good. It's just that his, you know, connections with the rest of the team just really ruins the team knitness, you know. It's going to be Hamid there, a little one touch. And it's going to be a free kick for Al Hilal. Bidstrup just does the foul. A goal after the water break could still happen here. Water break only happened, of course, like 2 minutes ago. And it looks like that, yeah, Ruben Neves taking this free kick here. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, I just do really anything that I enjoy doing. I play games, IRL streams, all the football match reviews. Of course, Club World Cup's a big one. Maybe afterwards we do, you know, the main match instead of literally every match on the planet. But yeah, thank you, Jack, for, you know, watching the channel. Love it. Yeah, water break is still up for sure. Oh, sorry, my bad. I just realized. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. And how to start channel. Really just, you know, dedication, commitment, continually posting. I feel like shorts are a good way to... Oh, there's an absolute rocket from Hilal. Just, you know, continually just be dedicated to going every day. And really, you'll start seeing growth if you just keep doing that. And thank you so much, Jack. I appreciate the kind words. Appreciate all your guys' kind words as well. I always read them, and it just makes me smile and have a nice feeling, really. So, yeah, Savic there with a brilliant long shot. They're getting desperate. Hilal, you can tell by, you know, shooting. You send a Discord? Okay, I'll check it after this match. Okay, I'll show the stats for full time, and then I'll check the Discord. I'll give you a shout out. Shout out Abdulaziz Al Samari. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Yeah, W's to you. Big shout out. Also, anyone who subscribes will get a shout out. And that's so close to Salzburg's goal. Oh my goodness, that was so close. It looks like Bunu might have saved it. I don't know. We're about to see here. Did Bunu save this one? No, he didn't. He retracted his hands. What is a voice corrector? Wait, what's a voice? Is that like a voice modifier? Because no. No problem, Abdulaziz. Appreciate it for, tuning in, bro. You've run out of football questions the past few streams. No problem, Dorito Chip. All good. You can ask any questions. I'll answer them, But yeah, Bunu didn't save that. He actually, when he dove, he was about to, and then he retracted his hand. So technically not close. He did see that wasn't going on target because he could have saved it. He just let it go out. So smart play by Bunu. Again, one of his smart plays he does all the time for Al Hilal. That's why he is a very good, diving keeper. And this is going to be a throw-in for Salzburg. And say his name and he appears, yeah. And this is going to be Salzburg now on the side here. And it looks like it's going to be trying to find through the middle there. A nice little one-touch play between, I think it was Bidstrup. And here's a chance for Salzburg, just caught by Bunu again. Know what to do out. So what job do you plan after college? Well, hopefully YouTube. Dorito Chip, I do hope so. If not, I'll be going, in university for a bit longer because I won't do college as university is what offered for, my style of curriculum. And I'll probably be doing, if I don't get YouTube going, anthropology. I'm very interested in that sort of stuff. Thank you, Abdulaziz, as well. Such kind messages, bro. Brother, you got voice like from TV. I think you do very well with this channel. Thank you, Basic Voice. Appreciate that. My dad, no, I was saying I'm probably, if I don't do, if my YouTube doesn't succeed, I'll probably do anthropology, which is, a very enjoyable subject to me. 7 minutes until full time. And here is a throw-in for Salzburg into the box, possibly. Do I think now it's a confirmed draw? Again, late goal, but yeah, it's looking like a confirmed draw. You're a Hilal fan since out of the womb. Well, hopefully, for SPL, for Saudi League football, that we can get this one over. Unfortunately, Abdulaziz, I am an Al Nassr fan. Been following Al Nassr now for quite a while. For actually a long time now, almost. And this is a cross coming in from low and just coming out. Yeah, football fan. For these games, I'm supporting Al Hilal just in terms of promoting SPL. You're crying of happiness right now. If Hilal make it to round of 16, that'll be such a big achievement for SPL football, I'm sure they will. They'll go through anyway. Yeah. Football fan, definitely. Otherwise, yeah, I just try and narrate neutrally, really, except for the Real Madrid games, of course. Real Madrid is my team, mainly, along with, of course, Al Nassr. Yeah, if they don't lose this game. Yeah, a draw is the ideal now, really, for Al Hilal to not, concede a sudden play. This is actually a free kick for them. Just a yellow card going out for one of Salzburg's new substitutes. I think that was, let's have a check. I think it was, yeah. Who was that? Oh, it was Sota Kitano, yeah. And this is going to be a through ball, trying to find Salzburg here. Actually does find them on the left side. Might be offside. Wait, so you're going to study human knowledge and stuff, right? Yeah, that's what anthropology is kind of. It's not... there's two types of anthropology. There's physical and mental. There's physical in terms of fossil study, but sort of similar to paleontology a little bit. But anthropology, mental is, of course, human development through time, which is a good, interesting subject. No goal. Time is running out. Yeah, definitely time is running out now. 5 minutes until the additional time announcement. I think it's going to be about 4 minutes additional time. Yeah, Salim. I said it at the start of this stream. Salim is the best Saudi player of all time. Yeah, I love Salim Al-Dostri. He's definitely a delight to watch. Abdulaziz, I've been living in Saudi 8.5 years, and I love, watching SPL football. Definitely an entertainment. Definitely getting better, Love it. Juve is your team, but sometimes you have to accept reality, but Tudor give you hope for a good future. Yeah, definitely, Juve is looking good. Juve is definitely looking good in this tournament, I have to say. There is a substitution coming for Al Hilal, and it looks like it's going to be Nasser Al-Dosri coming off for Nasser Al-Dosri coming off for someone. I don't know. Maybe Hilal's doing another sub because Tambakti looks injured too. It's up to Inzaghi here. Tambakti is on the ground. Yeah, it might be Nasser Al-Dosri actually staying on instead, and Tambakti might come off here instead. Just depends on, you know, the injury situation here. Yeah, here's the tornado, exactly. Salem, amazing performance against Argentina as well in that World Cup. Definitely amazing from him. Always Hilal's best player, I feel like. Hilal can go to top 4 if they beat Juve or City. Yeah, definitely I think preferable for them would probably be Juventus. City's going to be, you know, harder to crack with Pep's play style. Oh, you're also a Liverpool fan. You know, I'm pretty neutral for every other team except for, of course, Real Madrid. Real Madrid all the way for me. So, yeah, besides La Liga, every other league I'm pretty much neutral for. And SPL, of course. You like astronomy. Yeah, astronomy's fun, you know, looking at the planets and stuff. I actually, you know, in the future, I hope I can get a telescope because I actually like looking through telescopes. I had one a long time ago. It was like a pretty basic one. But yeah, I had so much fun looking through it. And, you know, Jupiter, Saturn. And Timbuktu actually is coming off here for Ali Lajami, the traitor. Absolute traitor, Lajami. Don't want to see your face, bro. And it looks like Renan Lodi's coming off for the substitution before bringing on Al Jawer. I don't know if the other sub still occurred for Nasser Al Dosri. We'll have to see. A shared house, and one of the guys is a Liverpool fan. Oh wow, Liverpool fans everywhere. You know, love to see it. Liverpool fans definitely going to be happy about Florian Wirtz, you know. Wirtz, Frimpong. Who's the other guy called? The left back from Hungary? From Bournemouth? I forgot his name now. It starts with K. It's like Kurz or something. I said the other stream perfectly. I've forgotten. Sorry. I'll search up Kirkez. Yeah, Kirkez. There it is. You're Hungarian right now? You're Hungary right now, okay? Make sure you get a snack Dorito chip. You know, eat some Doritos. Eat your own kind. But yeah, smash like for Hungary. And this is going to be Salzburg again with another attack. Long-range shot. That was very, very not great from Salzburg. It looks like it might be in the corner, actually, though, from a deflection. Initial shot, though, isn't that great. Yeah, so Salzburg get a corner here. Hilal really hoping maybe to get a counter-attack off this corner. But the biggest thing for Hilal is to defend this corner. Defending this corner is the biggest for them because, you know, conceding a goal from, you know, 89th minute is going to be bad. So let's see if they can, you know, defend this one nicely. Here we go. Salzburg whip that in, and that is going straight out the side there. And it's going to be another corner. Yes, another corner. Yeah, Nitro on fire? Wait, what? And this is going to be another corner here for Salzburg. Let's hope that they can do a good job here. Hilal, 7 minutes additional. And there's an initial header to clear that one. And it's going to be another corner. 3 in a row. You're Polish in UK. Came here whenever I was 21. Another 21 gone. Wow, that is so... Yeah, that's so long living there. Basic voice. But yeah, W Poland, honestly. Is your favorite player, you know, one of your favorite players, Lewandowski? I don't know. Don't want to assume, but I'm sure you know Poland proud of Lever. I think he, like, left the national team at first. He's back now, but he left because he wanted the coach to get fired because it's, like, kind of corrupt in the national team. I don't know. Don't know if that's still the case, but I did hear that from somewhere. Please shout your dad, Abdul Rahman. Shout out Abdul Rahman. Abdulaziz's dad there. W's. Oh, Del Piero and R9. Yes. So good. Mitro's on fire. Yeah. Unfortunately, Mitrovic isn't here. He would have been so good for Al Hilal in the corners. But yeah. Mitrovic would have been great. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's, you know, injured. It's raining in Jamaica. Oh, wow. Yeah, Jamaica, you know, is another country I'd love to visit. Genuinely, Jamaica sounds like such a fun time to go to. You know, lots of Ecotourism, Bob Marley Museum, as I said before. Lewandowski fired like a 4 before. Yeah, Lewandowski really standing up, though, for, getting the better coaches. I think Lewandowski just wants, the good Polish coach. I don't know, because I'm not fully, I'm not Polish, but... Oh, he's not a leader. You don't like Lewandowski. Lewandowski, yeah, I thought maybe he was firing them for the, the better of Poland, but yeah, maybe not. I guess maybe he's just a bit selfish. And this is going to be going across here for Hilal, still trying to get, a little bit of a play on here. It's going to be a free kick for Al Hilal. Does Jamaica have good food? Because wherever I go, I gotta know. I heard Jamaica has like this good, like grilled dish. I can't remember what it's called, but I've heard of it. I know Jerry will probably have to answer that. Hi, Joseph. You stumble across your account. Respect the grind, dude. Thank you so much, Joseph. I really appreciate that. Yeah, just, trying to go every day better and better. And, yeah, thank you. I appreciate your subs so much, bro. How many minutes extra time? There is going to be 6 minutes in total. So it's already been about 3 minutes. So 3 minutes more for a possible winner. Though it looks like it's going to be a 0-0 again. So that's 2 days in a row with a 0-0 game. No character, always try to be political and polite. Yeah, I see. Okay, well, definitely. I mean, I don't really watch Lewandowski anyway, because, of course, Barca he is in. I thought he was good in Bayern. That's probably where he's best. But, yeah, he's now, of course, a Barca player. And we don't like those for Real Madrid. Respect to him, though. Respect to some Barca players like Pedri, of course. Can't watch the match in Europe somehow. Oh, well, that's kind of weird. You tried watching on DAZN.com. It's free on DAZN's website, but I don't know if it's... I don't know if that's maybe not available where you are, but yeah. You do Jamaica is good food. Yes, I actually really want to try Jamaican cuisine, Jerry. It definitely sounds very interesting and yummy, And Lajami's going to be throwing into the box here. He has a far throw, so we could see a quite far one here. Here we go. Yeah, Chesney's good. Love Chesney, and, respectable. And, yeah, you tried it, and not available. That is so weird. But, yeah, I'm trying to provide the commentary for anyone who can't watch. Unfortunately, I would be wanting to show the match, but, yeah, I'll get banned from YouTube, which is, yeah, pretty unfortunate. This looks to be like a corner for Al Hilal, just with 2 minutes left. We will be covering the next match, which is Manchester City versus Al Ain. For anyone interested, that's in, around an hour from now. And let's see, this cross will be taken by, it looks like Salam El Dosri. Here we go. Salam ready to cross. And that's the same with me, Dorito Chip. Here we go. Cross coming in by Salam. It's a deep cross. And it's just tipped away by the goalkeeper there. And out for another corner. It's going to be Al Hilal second corner here with 1 minute remaining. It looks like it might be played close because there are 2 players running close for this corner. Though, yeah, definitely could see it being played long. And it looks like Ruben Neves will be taking this one. Targets, of course, Koulibaly and Milinkovic-Savic. And, yes, that sounds like a good idea, basic voice. Yeah, just, have a relax. Ruben Neves crossing it in. And this is still in the box here. A little bit of a fumble between both teams. And Hilal just receive it as it's booted away by Salzburg. And now it's still a chance for Hilal on the counter. Here's a cross coming in. And it's just, that is so bad from Leonardo. That is not great. He does like a scorpion kick straight into the air there. Almost goes out of the stadium. That's how high he does it. Given away by Salzburg, though. And now it's with Hilal once more. And Hilal give it away. And now it's going to be a Salzburg throw. And that's a very scrappy. Yeah, emotions until last. There's about 30 seconds left. Milinkovic-Savic being told off by Inzaghi there for not enough pressure. Inzaghi really wanting a win here. The Hilal fans not looking happy in the crowd there. Because this doesn't mean much for Salzburg. A loss, a draw here. Because they are already on 3 points. But, definitely a draw isn't that great for Hilal. There's going to be about 1 second left. I think it's going to be called full-time any second now. And it is full-time as it stands. Hilal 0, Salzburg 0. And it is going to be a 0-0 draw. Wait, something's happening here? Don't know what's happening. The referee is pointing to someone here. I think it's full-time. Okay, I don't know. That was weird. The referee is pointing around the field. Yeah, respect to Hilal, you know, for getting another draw. I mean, now it's all on the last game. They need a win in the last game against Pachuca, and Real Madrid need to beat Salzburg. Yeah, they will meet City, not Juve. Yeah, definitely, unless, of course, Juve pull an absolute stunner and win against City. But, yeah, as it stands, Hilal need that win against Pachuca. Real Madrid need to beat Salzburg, and Hilal will be through to round of 16. You bet nil on 0-0. Is it full time? Yes, it is, Joseph. Full time, 0-0. There we go. Match finished. And yes, I can go check the Discord. First, I'll just read the stats for anyone interested in these stats here. So here are the stats for this game. So Salzburg 0, Hilal 0. Salzburg had 43% possession. Their expected goals 1.1. 13 total shots, 6 on target, 1 big chance missed, 340 passes, 86% accuracy, 10 fouls, 6 corners. Also, Madrid and Hilal to win. Yeah, definitely I can see that happening here. And no problem, Joseph. Thank you for, you know, tuning in. And then also for Hilal stats, 57% possession, 1.31 expected goals, 19 shots, 4 on target, 1 big chance missed, 442 accurate passes, 85% accuracy, 4 fouls committed, and 11 corners. And yes, as it stands, this is what the table looks like for Group Group H. Hilal are now third, Pachuca fourth with 0 points, Hilal third with 2, Salzburg second with 4, and Real Madrid first with 4. The next game is going to be Al Ain versus Manchester City. Al Ain, the UAE team, versus Manchester City, owned by the Qatar family. I don't know who owns them. But yeah, this is going to be a big one for Manchester City to put that goal difference up because, of course, Al Ain are pretty weak. They shouldn't have been here. They should have been giving their Middle East slot to Al Ittihad. But respect, you know, to Group H has probably been the most diverse group, I feel like, in terms of scorelines. It's going to come down to the wire for the final, match day where we have both games on at the last minute and draw Real and Hilal go out. Yeah, definitely that's also a possibility. I'll be, happy if Hilal go through just for SPL football, but yeah, Real Madrid could draw to the Salzburg team because they look defensively amazing. Like, I'm not joking, Salzburg looking great. And yes, thank you everyone for tuning into this stream. I hope you had a nice time here. Thank you for all the comments as well. Really appreciate everyone commenting up. Yeah, hope you come into the next one if you can make it. Manchester City versus Al Ain. And wasn't the best game in terms of lots of big chances, but still a good contest either way. Yes, there was a lot of big chances in this game. I think still the best game of this entire tournament, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Dortmund. A big surprise. But thank you guys. Oh, yes, Discord. Sorry, almost forgot. Won't let you down there, Dorito Chip. Let's take a look. And yes, I saw the average second. How long until you die? 30 seconds. What? Okay, this is kind of weird. 30 seconds to live. No way bro dies on the stream. Okay, it's screaming around it. W Dorito Chip, yeah. Luckily, that's not me. Luckily, it's some random guy, but hopefully it's not me, I would love to live more than 3 years or 30 seconds. I mean, I've probably already lived more than 30 seconds. But thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye, and thank you so much. One odd lineup by Man City. Well, Man City's not a weird lineup. Wait, I'm delaying the goodbye again, but let's have a look. What the heck is this? Well, am I looking at, the C team here? I mean, Al Ain are bad, but they're not that bad. Like, let's be honest, they're reversing Juve with such a good form. I mean, what is that? Okay, well, fair enough. City resting their players. Fair enough. And see you in the next game, guys. Goodbye. Make sure to like and sub up if you haven't already as well.